Happy Monday, Pella Virginia. It's week 4 of March Madness is in the books. We're moving on to week 5. We've got some awesome stuff in tap, and I got some big news. I sent the video out to one of the directors, Doug Phelps at Pella Corporate, and he shared it with all of his peers, and my phone was blowing up last week. I got a text message from someone, and we are up to 4 likes now. Carl, what do you think about that?
1 away from 5. I can't believe it. I never would have thought this would have happened. But I told you it's going to go viral. First it's corporate, then who knows? It's going to blow up the internet.
I know. I don't even. It's we're going to have subscribers everywhere.
Yes. Hey, and guess what? To help us with our likes, click that subscribe button down below and smash that like button, because we need to get up to at least 10. So right down here, I think it's somewhere along this line here.
I don't know. Everybody says that in their YouTube videos. I've never been able to find the subscribe button. So I hope you can. It's we don't have the most tech savvy company, but we'll see.
We'll see. Let's you want this content, smash that like button.
Yeah, click everything. So before we move on though, I do want to give a shout out to our producer, Carl's wife, Michelle. She's the one that's behind the scenes doing all this cool stuff, the graphics, the background. I mean, we would not be doing this. We would probably be doing a video or a recording on a phone. It would be really lame. So we got our ESPN studio. She came in and directed behind both of us. So it's very impressive. We want to give a shout out to Michelle.
Thanks, guys.
All right, she unmuted. So let's get into it. We got the regular show on tap. We're going to go through the review of the week that was. We've got best brackets updates, and the action is heating up as we chase those $50 gift cards. And then we got the round 5 preview. The top 6 seeds have moved on. So let's get into the action, Carl.
Yes. Well, the first matchup I want to talk about was probably the most explosive matchup of all time, of all March Madness. It was unbelievable. It had it all. I mean,
it was a month's worth of action packed into 1 week.
Exactly. It had over $340,000 worth of sales. It was unbelievable. These guys it was like a heavyweight boxing bout. It was just incredible. You know, Chris lands one for 60K, and then George lands one for 80. I mean, it was just back and forth.
I don't know, Carl. It might have been like Godzilla versus King Kong. It was that good.
It was that good. I mean, if it was like a real basketball match, it was must-see TV. Drop backs, step backs, fadeaways. It had it all. It was incredible. And it came down to a 2-2 tie, and it came down to the volume as the tiebreaker. And Ninja Nemeth, as I called it, with the upset, took the Godzilla of Chris Thomas down and is moving on. It was just an incredible matchup. I mean, that's what you like to see, the competitiveness and the back and forth. But what did you think about it, Jason?
Well, I don't know if there will ever be a case where $136,000 loses on the volume tiebreaker, but it happened. And I think Chris might have got bit. We were talking to him earlier. He said he held on to a self chin and he saved it for next week because he didn't think George was going to get one. If he had sold that one, he would have won the category. But he didn't. So that's that. I guess I got that one wrong. Ninja Nemeth, even though ninjas they practice ninjutsu, not karate. George did clarify that. A $40,000 average job size. That's insane. And an $18,000 yield. Chris did get 3 reviews, so hats off to Chris for that. But yeah, that was a monster match.
Shouldn't have sandbagged.
Shouldn't do that. So on to the next matchup. Speaking of lessons learned, what are we always talking about? The
Google reviews.
The Google review, yeah. So another close one. Leslie edged Henry. She took him on first call close, barely got him on yield, 6,900 to 6,300. Henry took average job size with an impressive 16,000. He did get a self-gen, had a new prospect self-gen. They both had Google reviews, but Leslie got one more than he did. So she took that category and won 3-2. Henry would have won the volume tiebreaker had he just been able to pull off one more. So, man, that Google review category does it again. Leslie, the Pella Bella moves on. She's going to face George in the winner's bracket.
Yes, yes, I had Leslie. I picked her. You had Leslie moving on through the losers bracket. I had Henry moving on through the losers bracket. Um, but yeah, I mean, it was a great match. Well fought. Again, this is what you want to see when it gets down to towards the end. You get super competitive streak going, and it was back and forth. And Leslie just was just a little too much for Henry this week, and is moving on. All right, let's talk about the next matchup, which was in the losers bracket: Dave versus Brett. And man, I keep saying Dave is going down. Dave is going down. I guess I was a little salty after that. He missed that one Google review that I had him picked a couple weeks ago. I had him losing to Brett, but he took Brett down. Brett had a rough week, and just really didn't push Dave that much. I think Dave kind of got by on this one a little bit easy, if I can say that. But nonetheless, he's moving on, and he's going to be facing Henry, which is going to be a tough match for him this next week.
Yeah, Carl, I'm surprised you had anything intelligent sounding to say just then, because you seemed a little confused last week when you were talking about this match. So I guess you got me on the first two picks, and I got you on this one. It wasn't a very exciting match to watch. It was like watching a basketball game that was 30-40. But Day one, he had the 40 points. So he took three of the four categories, taking first call, close, yield, and he had three self chins. So he nailed that category, $45,000, and he gets the victory. So then on to the last match. That was Shane versus Chase. It was Gator. I did call that one as well. He rolled. Chase was more interested in his vacation at the end of the week, I think.
Oh,
Sorry, Chase, but he didn't really deliver the goods enough to beat Shane. Shane won with first call close, had 50%, had an awesome $7,500 yield. We got a review, $15,000 average job size, $75,000 in sales. So he did the work. He's moving on, and it's going to be a heck of a matchup between him and Chris this coming week.
I gotta admit, I was a little spellbound by that beautiful mustache he was sporting. It was mystical. It was it was so beautiful. I could not go against it.
You gotta love the Gator though.
But look, Gator took it to him, dismantled him. Been super consistent and deserved the win. But hey, Chase, don't worry about it. Don't shave that mustache just because you lost. Keep that thing. Grow that thing. Comb it at night. It's beautiful. But anyways, let's move on. I could talk all day about that mustache. Jason, tell us a little bit about the brackets. Who's got the best bracket?
Well, Julie, she has her crystal ball. She is still in the lead. She's the only one with 18 picks right. She's actually got all six people that are in the in this fifth round. She's got them all in there. So she's looking good for an Amazon gift card. I think she's all but locked it up. She just rolls to victory. Maybe we'll give all four of them to her. I don't think that would be fair. There might be some anarchy amongst the ranks. So Julie's got 18. Leslie, she's in second with 17. George with 16 and a half. So those two are trying to double dip. They're both in the winners bracket in March Madness, and they are in position to win the Amazon gift card. So they're looking for a nice shopping spree on Amazon this year. Teresa and Jim have 16 correct. Carl, you've got 15 and a half right. So you're in the hunt. And then Justin and Drew from the trade team, they know what's going on with the retail squad. They've got 15, and then there's a bunch of people with 14. So there are still a lot of people that have a shot at this best bracket prizes. So anyhow, that's that. Now let's move on. Let's talk about this week coming. We've got the top 6 seeds that are going into round 5. It's only 3 matchups, but they are going to be awesome to see. So we're going to talk about the George and Leslie match first.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember the commercial because I get up during the commercials to walk around, but I hear this tune all the time on TV. And I tell my son, like, that's Mr. Nemeth's theme song. He's like, who's Mr. Nemeth? Like, don't you worry about it. He's going to win this week. So I got to tell you why I'm picking George to win this week. So truth be told, for full disclosure, I picked Leslie to go all the way in my bracket that I filled out. And I've been picking against her each week, and she continues to win. So I'm picking George because to keep my bracket going, I need Leslie to win. So there's a little bit of reverse psychology going on there. But I don't think George is the bad pick. Michelle, can you give us that bracket of the sales board? The other one I sent over to you. There we go. So if you notice, George is tops in sales with 304,000. But then I think our heads are in the way. But Leslie is number one in the overall ranking. She's got a score of 3.0, which low score wins the belt. And there are 4 others. So kind of digressing into the sales belt championship going on. This is the final week for March. So we've got a sales belt on the line as well. Chris is tied with 3.2. George has 3.2. Shane has 3.2. Joshua has 3.2. Leslie's barely leading with 3.0. So there's a lot of action going on this week. March Madness, March sales belt. But yeah, it's a tough call, but I'm going to go with George, Mr. Nemeth, because he's the best around. And I need Leslie to advance.
Wow. Well, listen, I think your wish is going to come true because the Pella Bella has been unstoppable. Unstoppable. And listen, Ninja Nemeth had a great week last week, but guess what? He left it all on the table to beat Chris. He had to go through Chris, and he emptied the tanks. There's nothing left. I hate to say, I hope he proves me wrong because I love me some Ninja Nemeth. But this week, guess who he's going against? The leader of the Cobra Kai, okay? Leslie Duncan. And she is going to win this week because she's just been so consistent. She didn't have to empty the gas tanks last week. And so she is going to move on. And yeah, I got Pella Bella winning. I've taken her every week, and she has not done me wrong. She's moving on.
Can I cue up her music now?
That's right. Pella Bella. Cue it up.
All right.
All right. So what we got next? We got Dave versus Henry. Okay, now listen. You know who I'm going with? Henry Superfly Silver. Come on, these are Superfly. Look, they got a little lightning right here. Jason, you know these are fly. Superfly, like Henry Silver. Okay, I've been calling it for weeks.
Dave, you want the music again? I got music galore. Where did you get those things?
Amazon. They're awesome. I'll order you a pair. Now listen. Dave Duncan. He's had the last 2 matchups were 10 and 11. He's kind of skated through the losers bracket. Now he's got to face Henry Silver, who's been red hot. He can do it all. He's got first call close. He's got volume. He's got Google reviews. He can get self-gens. And now listen, I'm not going to say it's going to be an easy match this week. This is Dave's, finishing. He always finishes strong. This is the end of the month. So I think it's going to be tight, but I think Henry takes it 3-2.
So I watched Forrest Gump recently, and what week is it in March?
The final week.
It's the final week, and Dave Duncan always does well at the final week of the month. That's all I have to say about that.
Well, he's going to run into Superfly, and it's going to be a wrap.
That's all I have to say about that, because Dave in the final month are like peas and carrots. Dave Duncan is my best good friend.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's going to be tight.
You can't say anything else about it. You can't. It's the follow-up. He's going to win yield. He's going to win volume. He's going to win self-gens. That's all he needs. He's going to win all 3. He's going to win 3, and that's it. First call close, all you want, Henry.
I'll give you it's going to be tight. It's going to be tight, but Henry's going to win 3-2.
All right.
Google reviews will play a big role.
Yes, but that will get him 2 of 3 categories. Fair enough. Okay. Take off the ridiculous shades. We're going on to the last match. So this is Shane versus Chris. This is exciting. These are the last 2 March Madness champs going at it. Chris has never missed a final. He's always played in the final, so I don't expect to see him go out early. There's a couple of sayings that Chris has. He says, the cream always rises to the top. So he will be back. You can't hold a good man down. That's another one of his sayings. And I guess I had to string up the gator this week.
Oh, well, guess what? I'm back on the gator train,
String up
baby.
the gator. I got my boa. I actually
Look.
have a real live boa.
Look, show me the money, Shane. Listen, I went out and bought some
I
bling
know what
for you
that
this
is.
week. I'm back on the Shane train. You want to know why? He's too consistent. He's been super content. His only loss came from Henry, who had a monster week that week. Chris is coming off that heavyweight bout he had with George. I'm not saying the tank's empty. I think he sandbagged a little bit. So it's not going to be easy street, but I think Chris has got a vacation coming up. Could be pulling a Chase Thomas where he's on vacation mode. All I'm saying is that he's vulnerable this week for Shane, who's been super consistent. And I'm taking Gator. Shane is moving on. And hey, let's worst case scenario, we can have Chris on here next week to talk about what it's like to be a champion.
Well, I think he's going to take this personal because you mentioned Chase and Shane beat his son last week.
Ooh.
It's time for redemption. The elder
Shane,
Thomas will reign supreme.
I didn't even think, can Shane pull the Thomas sweep? The Thomas sweep? Oh man, Shane train. Let's do it.
I can only put it on my phone this time.
Hey!
It's the Nature Boy. Yes. All right.
Show me the money.
So that's a wrap. We got the best week of March Madness coming up with round 5. Stay tuned for the updates. It's going to be awesome. We're signing off.
The Dowdy delay on Zoom is even.
I'm not ready. I'm not ready.
Wait, hold on.
I had to watch Anchorman this weekend. Yeah. Yeah, la, la, la.
Me.
Oh, whoa!
Me.
Can I get some meatloaf?